Hello and welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. Today we are going to move without limitations. Using a foam roller, a hard and a soft reflex ball, we are going to explore different fascial lines in the body, working on balance and proprioception. We want to move away from repetitive movements in the same directions and explore multiple directions, building stability and improving core function. We want to move without limitations because movement is the key, and if we don't use it, well, we lose it. So let's start with the hard reflex ball. A tennis ball will do if you don't have a hard reflex ball, and a nice slow movement rolling over the sole of the foot, releasing the foundation of the body. So when I talk about balance, we're going to focus on balancing and really opening up and improving our foundation, because all the lines of the body, apart from the arm lines, start in the feet. So loosening up the feet is going to help us with our proprioception, and proprioception is your awareness of your body in space. So you want to be able to create as much movement from the foundation up. Keeping our feet in shoes is limiting that ability. Move the ball into the arch of the foot and just a small movement in one direction, and then you're going to change direction. Heel on the mat, bring the ball onto the ball of the foot and just roll that ball from side to side. Move the foot up and over the ball, and hopefully you'll feel that lateral stretch and the medial stretch along the inside of the leg. Then roll across or under the heel from side to side. And now what you can do is wake up the nerves with a quick proprioceptive movement, and then move the ball onto the other foot. You can even use a golf ball, but these little nodules on the hard and the soft reflex ball will really help stimulate that fascia and get the blood circulating. When you're ready, you bring the ball into the arch of the foot, circling in one direction, and then change direction. Heel onto the mat, ball under the ball of the foot, and roll up and over the ball. And when you're in this position, try and focus on your posture as well, so you see what's going on under the foot, and then lift yourself up, lengthen through the spine, and relax the shoulders as much as possible. And then a quick proprioceptive movement, again just to wake up those nerves. And you can put the hard reflex ball or whatever you're using to the side. So we're going to bring the ball between the heels, squeeze the ball, spread the toes out, really open up over the feet as much as possible, and then you're going to breathe in through the nose, exhale and lower the heels down. Breathe in, rise up off the heels, exhale and lower down. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Do another 4, breathing in and exhale. 3 more and exhale. Last 2 and exhale. 1 more and exhale. Roll down again and release that ball. What we're now going to do is bounce. Bouncing again is a great way to hydrate the fascial tissue, and we want to also stimulate the circulation, and we want to, it's actually a good way to build bone density. So you can keep contact with the floor, just rise up and down off the heels, getting some of that movement into the body, just that bouncing. Pretend you're skipping, so you're holding onto that skipping rope and you're getting movement into the arms as well. If you want to add a little bit more of a bounce, you can move a little bit quicker and bounce from side to side. And so keep going. Bouncing off those heels. Again, keep contact with the floor. Make the movement as big as you want to. And repeat it for as long as you want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just shake everything out. Warm the body up a little bit there. Now you're going to take your foam roller. We're going to bring the foam roller parallel to the body, and just bring the one hand onto the foam roller, so the same, keep it on the same side as your supporting leg. Then you're going to lift and balance on the other foot. So start off holding onto that foam roller, and then we're going to look down at the bottom of the foam roller, bend well into your supporting leg, and tap the bottom of the foam roller and come back up to standing. So breathe in on the way up, and we're focusing on nose breathing. Exhale on the way down. Breathe in and exhale. Breathing in and like we did with the bouncing, you repeat this movement for as long as you can. Spread the toes out, open up the foundation that we've released with the reflex ball, and come back up to standing. Let's keep going. We'll do 2 sets of 8. But like I said, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, continue the movement for as long as you can. We're going to do 4 more. And 3, 2. When you come down, try and drop the chin to the chest, and let's just finish off there and shake the legs out, especially one you've been standing on. Let's move over to the other side. Spread the foot out, breathing in, and now exhale. And you will find one side more challenging than the other side. If you need to balance on that big toe, do so. But if you can, challenge yourself a little bit more. If you've got a low blood pressure, don't make the movement too big. In other words, if you're feeling dizzy, coming up and down too quickly, make the movement smaller, and you can keep looking ahead. Keep going. Let's do 1 more set of 8. Four more. And 3, 2, and finish off with 1 more. Okay, we're now going to come onto the mat, seated on the foam roller, and give those glutes a good release. So if the hips are very tight, you stay in that seated position, just lift the one buttock off the foam roller. Otherwise, if you can, open up that hip a little bit, thread the fingers between the toes, so you're opening up the feet, and lift the leg up off the other and roll right into that lower back as well, giving that area some attention. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to release and stretch into our lateral line. So take the foam roller, my hip bone is here, so my roller is just below my hip bone. You want to keep the feet stacked and you want to lengthen into the lateral line on the top. Bring the palms together, so arms next to the ears. In this position we're lengthening, so we're creating space. Breathe into the space. Breathe in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Again, breathing in four more, and 3, last 2, and 1. Really lengthen out. So each time you stretch, you can even take that top hand and reach it beyond the bottom hand. So you're really lengthening into the top lateral line. We're going to face forward and we're going to roll along the front of the legs. Try and keep the feet down, belly button lifted. We don't want to be in this position. You can walk the elbows if you need to, and go over the knees if you can. A lot of fascia in the knees, so it's a good release for these joints. Keep going. Don't forget to breathe in and out as you go. Okay, so you're going to stay in this position and just release the foam roller. Bring it next to you on the mat or next to the mat. Lower forward onto the mat. And then we're going to release the inner thighs. So you're going to bring the knee onto the roller, and you can have the foot on the foam roller as well. And just roll along. Try to keep that knee in line with the hip. If you have got tight hips, you can drop the knee slightly. You can bring the foot onto the side, onto the mat or next to the mat and the foam roller. Or you can keep that foot on the foam roller. Try and roll right into the groin there. And do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the roller right next to the, or underneath the hip in that groin area. And using the ball of your supporting leg, you're going to maneuver yourself forward and back, just releasing the fascia right along that inner thigh there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So it's a little bit of a shearing motion. Let's keep the foam roller where it is and rotate. So you're taking the other knee up onto the roller, foot on the roller or next to the roller. Rolling Keep going. Do another 2. And finishing off with the roller right in that groin area underneath the hip bone. Shearing up and down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now staying on the same side, you're going to move into a lateral stretch. Just make sure you've changed sides. Stacking the feet, lengthening out, resting your ear on your arm, and bringing the palms together. Breathing in, adjust the foam roller accordingly. My hip bone is here, so slightly above the supporting hip bone, the bottom leg. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in. Let's do another 4. And try and lengthen that top lateral side. 3. Last 2. And 1. Coming up, you're now going to sit on the roller. Cross the ankle if you can. Thread the fingers between the toes and lift that foot up, getting a little bit deeper into the release and making sure you're working into the lower back and over the glutes. Do another 4 and 3. Finishing off with your last one and release the toes. Let's sit behind the foam roller. We're going to lie in a supine position, so you're going to lie on your back and then lift the lower back off the mat as you take a slow, steady breath in. And let's shift the roller underneath that lower back. So not on the glutes, above the glutes. So my hip bones are here, just above the foam roller. Bring your knees over your hips. Keep your feet as close to your tailbone as possible. And rock the knees from side to side. So we're just loosening along that bony process, the sacroiliac spine, the posterior sacroiliac spine, rocking the knees from side to side. You can get your head involved as well, getting movement up and down the spine. And you're going to keep the knees to one side. Now we're going to circle that bottom leg. So make that movement as big as you can. So lengthen it out and circle and change the direction of the movement. Make big circles and reverse the circles. Do another 4 and 3, 2 and 1. And let's rock over to the other side. So you're going to do the same thing. Make that movement big. I'm a little bit limited for space here. So you make that movement as big as you can. And keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come back to the center. In the center again, keeping the feet as close to the tailbone as you can. Use your elbows if you want to, or hold on to the foam roller. We're going to breathe in, wrap the lower back up and over the foam roller. Then you're going to exhale and push the knees up to the ceiling. So keeping the feet down. Then you breathe in, open up, and exhale into that tuck. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going. So you're breathing in for 4 counts and tucking and exhaling for 4 to 6 counts. So try and increase that exhalation. Breathing in and exhale. Do another 4 and 3. So you be careful you don't want to use momentum. You want to use those core muscles pushing up and then opening up. Exhaling and finish off with 1 more. Exhaling. Staying in this position, we're going to add a little bit, some more movement, get the heart rate up. We're going to circle the legs like you're cycling on a bicycle. So it's a circle, a circle, a circle. We're going to do 4 of those, and you're going to speed it up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow the movement down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and speed it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and slowly 2, 3, 4. Again, speed it up. Slow. Speed it up. Slow. Speed it up. Keep going. Slowly. Speed it up. 2 more. 1 more. And speed it up. This is getting that heart rate up. It's also increasing the circulation, as I said. So, as well as getting a little bit of lymph drainage, so you're getting all that fluid running down towards the heart. Bend the knees. Using your hands, you're going to now just massage the lower back with the foam roller. So slowly sliding that foam roller out from under the lower back. And then you can position the foam roller under the neck. So still lying in the supine position. You can lengthen the legs out if you're comfortable to do that and you're not taking any strain in the lower back. Otherwise, keep the feet flat. But try and keep the spine in a neutral position. You don't want to be tucking. You want to get that movement into the lower back. And hopefully with all the releases we've done, you're going to feel a little bit more at ease in the lower back. Let's hold on to either side of the foam roller and nod the head from side to side. So like we did on the lower back, along that bony process, we're working along the occiput ridge, which is another bony process. that often carries a lot of tension. You can now start doing a bit of a shearing motion. So you're sliding the neck from side to side, shearing across the fascia, releasing that tension. 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to take the soft reflex ball and we're going to work around the diaphragm and along the colon. So this is going to help us with our breathing. It's going to help us activate those core muscles more. And we're going to start on the right side. So bring the ball inside your right hip bone and you're going to push into that ball. And we're going to start circling little circular motions up inside the rib cage, up and around, and down towards the left hip bone. So you're going to bring it back to the starting point, back inside that right hip bone, and little circular motions. Now this is an option if you are pregnant in the first trimester. Obviously, second trimester is going to be a little bit difficult to get into these areas. And third trimester, you don't want to be lying on your back. So let me give you another option if that is what you want, to get a little bit deeper into the release. You can rotate forward. This is another option if you want to get a little bit deeper into the release. We're going to work along the colon as well. And you're going to find your hip bone, bring the ball inside the hip bone. So we call this the iliac dungeon. Then you're going to move the ball up inside the right rib cage, over to the inside of the left rib cage, and to the left hip bone. So lying forward on the mat, you can position your hand under the ball if you want to get a little bit deeper. Position that ball inside that right hip bone, resting your forehead on your hand. You're breathing in. Lift the leg to get a little bit deeper. Any strain in the lower back, you keep the foot on the mat. Otherwise, you're breathing in, lifting up, exhaling, and lower down. Breathing in and exhale. And let's do one more and exhale. Then you reposition the ball inside the right rib cage. Release the hands. So you're going to bring both hands under the forehead. You're breathing in and exhaling. Now you'll keep the feet on the mat and breathing in and exhaling. Do another 2, breathing in and exhale. Finish off with one more. Move the ball over to the inside of the left rib cage, not on the rib cage, but inside. This is the transverse colon, and you're going to continue breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. If you have chosen, continue breathing in. If you have chosen the other option, then you'll continue moving up and around from the right side over to the left side. Let's finish off inside the left hip bone, breathing in and exhaling. And breathing in and exhaling. Nice and slowly, 2 more, breathing in and exhaling. Remember, if there's any strain in the lower back, you keep that foot on the mat. Just focus on the breathing into the ball. And you can release the ball. From there, we're going to still stay in the supine position. So you're going to rotate onto your back if you need to. Otherwise, just put the ball to the side. Let's rock the knees from side to side. So you can hold onto the foam roller just to keep it in position, rocking the knees. So we're now working into a little bit of a spiral movement. And you're going to keep the knees over to one side. Stay in this position if this is as far as you can and you've got a little bit of tightness in the hips. If you can, you're going to take that front foot onto the back knee. So we're going to lengthen a little bit more into this side and use that foot to push the knee down slightly. Bring your hand, so the same hand as that foot that's on the knee. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe in, just add a little bit of resistance with the foot, pushing it down so you're lengthening into up and over this hip area. Breathe in. As you exhale, you're going to push into the mat and come into a little bit of a concave position. So you're contracting a little bit on your exhalation and dropping the rib cage down. So you can use your hand to feel what's happening in the rib cage. Then you're going to breathe in. Open up again, use that foot, then push using the knee, drop the foot, keep pushing down, but come into that concave position. Breathe in and exhale. Keep going. Let's do another 4 and exhale. Any strain in the knee, just keep the foot in front and exhale. But using that foot, we'll just add a little bit more resistance. Finish off with one more and exhale. Let's do the same thing to the other side. So you want to work through a little bit of discomfort. Don't push yourself if you're feeling any strain, too much strain. Let's take the foot up if you can. Hand onto the rib cage on the other side, breathing in and exhale. Drop the rib cage, contract and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Four to go, breathing in and exhale. 3 more and exhale. Last 2 and exhale. 1 more. Release the foot if you've used it and just rock the knees from side to side a few times. Let's come back to center. Hug the knees to the chest. Just bounce the knees in and rock yourself to a seated position. Take your foam roller and bring it onto the shoulder blades. So you're just going to lift yourself up slightly higher and resting your head in your hands, link your fingers. We're going to lift the tailbone off the mat and give the shoulder blades some attention. Rock over to one side if you want to get a little bit deeper into the release. You're going to create a bit of a hammock for the head, so bringing the elbows together. And this will add a little bit more weight into the side that you're working on. Any too much strain around the shoulder area, the shoulder blades, then just stay with both shoulder blades on the foam roller as we started doing. If you want to, rock over to the other side and repeat the same release to that side, creating that hammock for the head. Another 4 When you in this position, open up as well and try and work right into the neck, right up and over the shoulder area. Let's come back to center. Position the foam roller right at the base of the shoulder blades. Taking the feet wide, we're going to add a little bit of the rotation like we started doing earlier. Breathing in, open up over the foam roller. As you exhale, you're going to push the lower back down, come back to the center, so rotate the knees up, push right down, you're exhaling. If you're taking any strain or you find your lower back lifts off the mat, then you stay in this position. If you can keep the lower back down, then you lift the feet. So the feet should be getting lighter as you come into this position. Just adding a little bit more of a challenge for the abs. Stay breathing in. Open yourself up. Exhaling to center. And add that lift if you want to. Keep the lower back down. Breathing in. You'll probably find yourself shifting lower down on the foam roller. If you need to, just lift your lower back and roll back into that starting position. Breathing in. Open up. Exhale. And lift. Make sure the movement is coming from the chest and you're not taking any strain in the neck. Make sure the head is resting in the hands to support the neck. Exhaling. Keep going. Let's do another 4. Last 2. And finish off. Knees to chest. Rock yourselves to a seated position and rotate onto the hands and knees. Let's reach forward and just bounce the chest down to the mat. A lovely stretch for that lower back, and breathe in and ready exhaling. Uncurl and just circle the shoulders up and back. Hopefully you have got some water handy, so have a quick drink and hydrate that fascia. Okay, from here we're going to come back up to standing. So let's move into our pyramid or down dog position and just walk through the feet. So just get a little bit of movement going there. And both heels down, just bounce your chest towards your thighs. Try and get the heels onto the mat. And when you're ready, walk your hands to your feet and bounce. Just bounce from side to side. And breathe in. Uncurl through the spine. And just circle the shoulders up and back. Okay. Now we started off with a movement in standing. We're going to finish off with a movement in standing. But this time I want you to challenge yourself a little bit more. You can go back to that original movement and I'll show you what it was. You're going to bring the foot or the roller onto the front of the foot, the top of the foot, and then use your hand on top to keep the roller where it should be. Use a wall if you need to, a chair or something for the other hand if you need to. But I want you to try and challenge yourself a little bit. So in this position, we're going to be upright, breathing in, and then you're going to rock forward. So challenge yourself a little bit. Like I said, if you need a wall or a chair, something to help you with your stability, keep your hand available to rest on the wall or the chair. So lift up, breathing in, and then exhale, rock forward. So you'll find one side is a little bit easier than the other side, and you want to try and challenge yourself in this movement and make it quite explosive. Breathing in and exhaling. If you want to, you can continue the same movement we did in the beginning. So the roller is going to come next to the supporting leg, and you're going to tap the bottom of the foam roller and come back up to standing. Tap the roller and come back up to standing. So play around with the positions and use the wall or use a chair if you need to. Make that movement quite explosive, like I said, exhaling and inhaling. And keep going. I like to use a timer for about 3 minutes, so you can just keep yourself going and balance yourself out one side to the other side. Keep going. Let's do another 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's move over to the other side. So you've got both those options. Tapping the bottom of the foam roller like we started with. But if you can, you're going to bring that foot onto the foam roller and lift up, breathing in this upright position and exhaling, lower down. Use the wall or the chair if you need to, and spread that supporting foot out, challenging your balance and really bringing that awareness to what's happening in the foundation of the body. Keep going. 8 more. 7, 6, and 5, 3, 2, and 1. You can put the foam roller to the side. And let's repeat that same movement we did in the beginning, just bouncing and really hydrating that fascial tissue. Get your skipping rope, bouncing off the heels or making the movement a little bit bigger, increasing the heart rate and working on that bone density as well. Keep going. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And shake everything out again. Let's swing the arms around the body. Take a slow inhalation, nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders, really opening up. So we just exaggerate that position a little bit. Breathe in and stretch. Exhale, roll down. And just bounce from side to side. Breathe in and uncool. Circle the shoulders up and back and shake everything out. And well done. Thank you for joining me. So really change things up a bit. Try and move in as many different directions as you can. Move without limits and keep moving.